Okay, so once you log in, your screen will load on the machine view or machine sales screen. You will go to the show field, change the drop down box from deployed to all.
What's that?
Click go, and your devices will all load.
So I know in the future.
First thing we're going to do is a customer setup. We'll set up this first device with the VK2000 25797. The first thing we'll do is go to the setup tab and then customers. From here you'll click on add customer, and then you'll input the location, facility, establishment name of where the vending machine will be located. So for this one, we'll just use Wittern Group. The next thing we'll input is the address. And then the rest of the information is, again, completely optional. Phone, fax, email. You will want create location at this address. The salesperson will be the account owner or manager. So you'll make that selection. And then your start date will be today's date. The description can be more information about the location of the machine or the location itself. And then once you have your customer built, you'll go back to your machine view. So you'll click on the machine tab, the machine sales, change that back to the show field to all, and click go. We'll click on the asset ID and then edit machine settings. And here we're actually deploying the machine at this location, so we're saying that this vending machine is live. It's being used and it's going to generate revenue. So we'll click on deploy this machine. The customer will be the customer that you just created. So for this scenario, the Wittern Group. The effective date again will be today. The place can be where at the Wittern Group, so this can be something like a cafeteria, a break room, a stairwell, a gymnasium, whatever you want to identify it as. Under the route subroute, you will click on other route subroute, and then the only option that you'll have from your drop down box, which will be your warehouse. You can also input the machine serial number if you wish, and more details and specifics about the vending machine. The majority of people do not use these fields, but they are completely customizable if you choose. They really, other than informational purposes, don't serve any purpose for use of the website. So you'll click save. If we go back to machine list, that device now shows as a deployed machine. You'd still need to navigate to all and click go to see all of them. And the next thing we're going to go over is item setup. So this will be all the product that you have in your vending machine. You can go back to the setup tab, click on items. Right now it's going to show unknown item or non-existent coil on most cases. The only difference between the two is whether the item has vended since the card reader has been installed. So if you've had an item vend, it's going to be unknown item, and any coils that have not vended since the card reader has been on there will be non-existent coil. Click on add item. You're going to start out with the item code. This can be something that you make up. If you have any specific numbering process, or you can use the actual UPC from the product. For this scenario, we'll use the UPC for the product. Okay. So your product name and then your manufacturer. Again, you can customize this for what it actually is, which for Reese's is Hershey's. Otherwise, if you're not concerned about the actual manufacturer name, there are some like asterisks at the top of that drop down box. You can just choose one of those so that you have something populated in that field. And then your category will be the type of product, whether it's chips, candy, pop. You'll save that, and then your products will appear in your list of products. To add the Reese's to your planogram, we'll go back to machine list, click on the asset ID, edit the planogram. You'll have to highlight this whole row. If you remember the number, you can just input the number. Oops. Otherwise, if you start typing the product, it will automatically populate. We'll say that this one holds 10 as well. And then we're going to stock it to 10. And we want to be notified when it reaches 3. So now you'll notice that this row is red. This is because it does not recognize that there are any Reese's in the vending machine until you tell the software that there is a certain quantity. You can do that by pushing the Field X button if you have a telemetry box or a G11 device. If you have an Engage and do not have the Field X or telemetry box, then you would use Add Restock. Or you could manually go in and adjust your inventory. We're saying that we are observing as of this moment that we have 6 Reese's. If you save that, that will then turn that line so that it's no longer red, and show you your current level. The level column will go down as you sell an item. So if you sell a Cheetos in an hour, while the green light site is delayed, that level will go down to 6 when it does update. So if you have a G11 device, you have a Field X button on the telemetry box of your card reader that you can push when you restock your vending machine. If you have an Engaged device, you do not have access to that Field X button. So you will have to come on to green light and click on the Add Restock button. You'll input the date of your restock and click OK. I believe you can only do so many in a given time frame, a 24-hour time frame. You'll select that you want to use the data report as of this time, click OK. So as mentioned, because there is a limit to the number of restocks that you can do in a day, it's going to indicate that the restock has already been created. So you'll just know that if you have any questions or doubt whether the restock went through, if you get this message, know that the restock went through, and just to check back a little bit later for the updated information. You can also, with the Engage device, use a driver card, which can be purchased where you swipe that at the Engage device to tell the software that you've done a restock. This is an alternative means to using the Add Restock button on green light, and can be used on all your devices.